Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I'm going to be showing you all of the treasure / good loot locations in the first region of the map, so the Trosky Castle region, otherwise known as Bohemian Paradise. So this, I may miss things in this list. For example, I have not done all of the treasure maps that I've found so far, just because I want to make sure I find them all before I start doing a bunch of treasure hunts. But I have found a lot of places on the map, like graves or camps or stuff like that, that have good loot in them, or at least somewhat good loot. So if you're just starting off the game and you want to fill yourself up with good armor, good weapons, money, dice, schematics, skill books, all sorts of stuff like that, I'm going to be showing you where to find all of that stuff in the map here. Keep in mind, some of these things will be locked behind chests that you may not have the skill level to lockpick yet. I would definitely recommend bringing a shovel if you're going to go along with on this trip. I will probably be stopping at every single one just to make sure I don't miss any, because I don't have everything in this game memorized yet, but I will point out and highlight on the map the specific location for each one before I show you what's in it. So, with all that being said, the first place we're stopping off is just above Troskowitz here, so we're not far away, and you can see it's called the Overgrown Dugout. It's in the woods right along this road. Like I said, here's Troskowitz. Going forward, I'm probably not going to show you like where it is in relation. I will just zoom out of the map and then zoom in. But anyway, that's where we are. We're at the Overgrown Dugout. You can see it is a little building in the woods. If we go in, we can find a chest in here that is locked, and I already picked the lock. It's a hard lock pick, or at least it was for me. And inside you'll find various things like a leather apron, a sketch for the executioner's axe, some blacksmithing stuff, 51 groschen, and a blacksmithing kit. So somewhat useful stuff. Mostly just the executioner's axe sketch is useful and unique. I've never found it anywhere else in the game. So this is where you get that stuff. Next, we're doing another one by Troskowitz. This one's just a little bit over to the right, so we were just at the dugout. Here we're at the Murdered Flautist. So when you come up to this one, it'll be at this part in the road. You'll find a work axe on the ground. You can take that. But if you follow the bloody path up, you'll find the Murdered Flautist. If we loot him, you can find some stuff like some groschen, a fox potion, a lion, which is a type of perfume. You can find this Bohemian cap, which is a relatively fancy piece of clothing. And over here you can find some Savior Schnapps. So not a very important one, I should say, as far as locations go, but it's close by and kind of funny, so I wanted to show it. This next location is between Troskowitz and Zhelyov here. You can see we're in the woods by a deer hunting spot, and you'll find a shrine here. So this shrine in the woods will be this little grave on the ground, and you're going to want to dig up this grave. And inside this grave, we'll find something pretty cool, in my opinion. So we'll find a couple things. We'll find a unique Wafen rock called the Crusader of the Red Star Wafen rock, which is a Wafen rock wearing the symbol of the Order of the Crusaders of the Red Star, so a unique Crusaders thing. We'll find a lore book and a decree, as well as an old letter, 30 groschen, and the Crusader Cloak, which is very cool. So just to give you an idea what that looks like, this is what the Wafen rock looks like. So it's just a black Wafen rock with a little red cross on it, which I think is fairly cool. Unfortunately, the much more vivid Crusader Cloak looking thing is miscellaneous, so I don't know if there's anything cool we can do with that, but it'd be neat. And then, of course, we have the Chronicle of the Knight's Cross book and the Seneschal Ambrose's Decree. So those are just going to be lore related towards this Crusader order. So cool stuff, in my opinion. Next up, just below Troskowitz here, we have what's marked on the map as a fresh grave. So you can see we're just to the right of this road. And inside of that, there are two different graves that we can dig up. So we're going to go ahead and dig those up. So in this grave, we can find a von Bergov Knight shield, which we'll go ahead and pick up. And then inside the loot, there's a couple other things. It's basically just a plain looking outfit, but I guess if you're looking for loot to sell, it's useful for that. Then in the other grave, same thing. This one's a knight though, so we get a von Bergov Knight shield, and then there's a couple other basic pieces of clothing and a weapon. Our next spot is going to be down here between the lower Semen Mill fast travel point and the Nebakov Fortress, so we're going to be up on this little cliffside over here, and we're going to be looking for the Pagan Burial Ground, which is right where I'm standing. In this spot, there will be 3 graves, and we're going to go ahead and dig them up, starting at this one over here on the left. In here, we can find a Devil's Head die, which is fun and a good addition to the Devil's Head, or the Devil's set, I should say. Goes in well with the other 3, and then some coins and Savior Schnapps. In our second one, we don't get anything special, but I guess you can dig it up if you come here for the die anyway. And then our third one, we get a brooch, some more groschen, and some more mintha if you want it. So nothing too crazy there, but we do get a, unique dice or die in this spot, so that's why I included it on this list. Our next spot is going to be up here, so you can see the Nomads camp is right here, Rock Tower Pond's right there, we're right here, so we're kind of in this crack in the rocks, and there is a skeleton with treasure here, so we are up on top of some rocks, so you do have to get up on top of these rocks, but once you have, you'll find this skeleton laying here, and inside he'll have a sack next to him with some pretty valuable loot. So I'll find some jewelry worth 215 groschen each, a cobweb, which is also useful, a coin sword pommel, 183 groschen, and then 2 cups, a golden one worth 770 groschen, and then a silver one worth 65. So, useful stuff for getting some money early in the game. Nothing unique. Our next spot is going to be not far past where we just were, so we were just down at this opening, and we're going to go up towards the Devil's Finger, so just up this rocky crack. And we're going up on top of there. It is actually kind of tricky. It took me several times to get up it the first time, so I'll see if I can get up it without dying this time. Basically, you have to go around to the outside and climb up it. Whew, and there. Once you get up to the top, there is a little cross thingy that you can open, and inside you'll find 300 groschen, and also a strong savior schnapps sitting here on the ground, and also a pretty impressive view. Not that that's really a collectible, but it looks really cool. Our next spot doesn't have anything unique, but it has something fairly useful for especially early in the game, and that's going to be where we're at now. So you see the Nomad's camp here. We're looking at the Wolf Pack, which can be found right here on these rocks. In here you'll find 2 open graves with some stuff in them. One of the things which you'll find in the second grave is the Battle Longsword. It's one of the better swords in the game, along with a kite shield, which I guess, yes. So that's one thing to grab there. And then there's also a Saxon bassinet helmet over in this one. So you can grab a couple, as well as a weapon stub. So you can grab a couple pieces of armor and weapons here at this one. And like I said, the Battle Longsword is one of the better swords in the game. So in my opinion, it's worth stopping, especially early. Our next spot is going to be over by Zhelyov here, so you can see where we're located, pretty close to this fast travel point for the Zhelyov Wagoner's Inn. We're down here in the wetlands, at the skeleton in the wetlands, and if you look close, or if you don't look close, you might miss it, but there's a map of the Zhelyov marshes stuck here in the mud, which makes me think it probably wouldn't be all that good, but we could take a look at that, and it tells us that. So, whatever that means. It's probably a chain of 3 islands close to the... So it's probably right where we are, and there's 2 marked off for holes out of 6. Well, let me look. See if I can interpret this treasure map on the fly. So there's the Wagoner's Inn. Here we have an island with some cattails on it. That could be what it means, or it could be referring to this little island in the middle there. That's probably what it is. Yeah, I don't get it. I'll have to check this out later. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. But, anyway, you can get the map right there. Our next spot is going to be right up here, so you can see where the Zhelyov Wagoner's Inn is right here. We're up here in the woods, and you'll find the bandits at Kerchak Pond here. If you kill both of them, like I did in their sleep, but whatever, you can do it however you want, and open this chest, you'll find all sorts of stuff. Now, most of this is just all of their clothing and armor, because it's what they should be wearing, but there's a couple things like this engraved silver ring for 215 groschen, a reinforced sword guard, 97 groschen, blacksmithing kits, but one of the unique things is this unlucky die, so you can grab that, and some jasper beads. So, I guess worth stopping, and it's also fun to kill 2 bandits, so no reason not to check it out. And another reason to come over to that spot is because just a little bit past it, so you can see we're in the same spot, there was the bandits. We're just farther forward up by this hidden treasure here on the rocky outcrop, and in this little gully you'll find a little narrow thing, and underneath it you can find a golden cross with garnets, which is like the best necklace in the game as far as charisma is concerned, and it's worth 660 groschen. Can find 3 savior schnapps, 157 groschen, and 3 silver cups. So, a useful little treasure to find. Our next spot is way up here, so if we go up from the Vidlak Pond fast travel point and go up to the end, you can find the washed up chest here. It is locked with a hard lock, and if you open it, you'll get 300 groschen, a golden crucifix, which is one of the most valuable pieces of loot in the game, a silver cup, and 2 tin plates. So, a nice little treasure for some extra groschen. Our next spot is going to be pretty close to the Vidlak Pond fast travel point. You can see we're just up here in the woods, and we're looking for the crosses in the rocks. Come to the crosses, and our option here is to pray. Now let's go ahead and open up our chest. Inside we'll find some savior schnapps and a bandage. I guess that's less climactic than I thought it was going to be. I must be thinking of a different spot. Our next spot is going to be up north of Trosky Castle, so if you go to right where we are on the map, you'll find an enemy camp. There's 2 enemies here, and if you kill them, one of them will have a key for this chest, otherwise it's locked and you'll have to pick it. But inside the chest, we'll find things like the Trosky Pavis shield, which is fairly unique, a level 3 glaive, level 3 ash hunting bow, some piercing arrows, a silver cross with insignia worth 229 groschen, the Song of the Merry Poor, which is a unique lore book, ordinary sword guard, 281 groschen, and a lousy gambler's dice, as well as 3 candles. So, another fairly useful treasure location. Our next one's going to be around the same area, just north of Trosky Castle, so there's the camp that we were just at. We're going to go just a little bit past that to the chapel in the rocks. This one is hidden, so you have to kind of come down and around these big rock structure, and then there will be this opening here. When you get inside, there will be a cross with a rock and a bunch of stuff on it, and you can pray at that, or you can push it aside and dig it up. Once you've dug it up, there will be a little chest that you can open, and inside that chest we'll find fragments of the Bible, which is a skill book, which helps with scholarship, 17 groschen, some fine wine, and a candle, but really, it's all about that skill book. This next one's not super special, but since we are close by for those last ones, we'll go over to this hidden treasure. So the chapel in the rocks is right here. We're just going to go up the hill, and on top of this rocky formation here, we'll find a little hidden alcove-like thing with a couple things. There's a bag here with some armorers and blacksmiths kits, which are always useful, and then a medium lock chest, inside of which you'll find halfway decent armor, a couple potions, and 50 groschen. Next spot we're going to be doing is over in Apollonia, and you can see here's the Trosky Castle fast travel, here's Apollonia, so we're right up here, and we're going to be looking for the ruin in the rocks. So you can see on the map here, it's this rocky formation. You're going to have to come over the top and cross over a bunch of like fallen down stuff. But once you get to it, it'll be this little ruined building, and here you'll find a locked chest. You open that up. You can get a couple things like an axe, some gloves, and a scapular, which is always useful. But then we get some interesting stuff, some skill books. So we have Master Studies 4 for scholarship, Product of Skilled Hands 3, which is a craftsmanship book, and then some other valuable loot if you want to take any of this stuff. So it's a useful enough spot. And as of right now, that's it. I've traveled to pretty much every single one of the unique locations I was able to find in here. Like I said, I haven't gone in depth with the various treasure maps yet, just because I want to do them all at once. But as of right now, I think that's all of just the real easy to get ones that you can get right at the beginning of the game. So hopefully this video was somewhat interesting or useful, but that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.